Hey, 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 and we're live. It's Mark Gassert, obviously from Peachtree Corners, Georgia, the peachiest place on the planet. Got some exciting news, and I'm really looking forward to this. It's coming up Wednesday. It's going to be very, very cool. And I know you know this individual, but before I get into that, I wanted to share something which is applicable on what I'm going to announce here. Um, was thinking about this, and I was reading a book, Keymaster, by Ben Gay III and Stephen Douglas Wilford, Williford right here. It's a book written back in the 80s, but there's kind of a cool quote that I wanted to share with you here, which I hear a lot of people complain, so forth, but it goes like this: worry affects the whole nervous system. I have never known a man who died from overwork, but many who died from doubt. And that's from Dr. Charles Mayo. And sometimes people just worry, worry, worry over nothing. And the reason I mention that is who is going to be here on Mark's Message Wednesday? And I'll pull that up for you. So you can see it scrolling down there. But we've got a certain gentleman that's going to be with us here. And I'm really thrilled about this, excited to the nth degree. Brian Wagner, okay? And I thought my father came from a large family. Obviously, Brian is one of 10. He's the youngest of 10. He grew up in Ohio. And in 2011, and I'll let Brian explain his story, but you can research it as well. Things kind of changed for him. And he probably could have cashed it in and said, "Woe is me," but he didn't. I mean, this dude, you talk about real, raw, resilient. To me, you talk about resiliency. Brian epitomizes that. The guy's authored, he's got a book out there. Sometimes it does take a brain surgeon, and you have to do some research on Brian to understand that. He's very well known in public speaking. He has been to a lot of humongous organizations out there in the stratosphere. He's got a program, Radical Vision, every weekday. It's out there. So you got to check the guy out. YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. He's all over the place. He is a monster, I'm telling you. So, who am I talking about? Well, I'll be nice here and I'll put up a picture or two here. And I know once I show you this, you're going to say, yeah, I know who that guy is. If I put that up there, that might ring a bell. That's who we're talking about. That's Brian. Here's another Brian, right? Here's an animated Brian. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And, this is what we're talking about, a radical vision. That happens every day he does this. Very unique individual, Brian is. And he will be here. I'll put this back up here for all to see. It'll be Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. I even put in his YouTube link. You can go and check him out and reference it. And if you want to, Google him, check out Brian Wagner. You can see his promotional page, his business page, what it has to say about Brian. I don't want to take and steal his thunder, but Brian, if you're out there, you may catch the replay. I don't know. However, I'm really looking forward to having you on board and sharing your story. And, we all have blind spots. So I'm dropping some hints. And Brian's going to talk about our blind spots. Lord knows I've got enough of them. And a lot of times it takes somebody to step back and get you to refocus and take a look and say, hey, maybe I could be doing this way, or I could be doing this better, or maybe I could be treating people a little bit nicer. And the holidays are coming up. So I figure, why not have a guy like Brian on board to share, number one, his story, number two, his passion, number three, his humor, which is going to be very exciting to have him here. I just got to really know him earlier today through an organization, Megamind Plus. There's some pretty cool people in there, but I really did do a little bit of research on Brian, and me, a guy from Peachtree Corners, Georgia, right? The peachiest place on the planet, probably has no business talking to Brian. I'm kidding. But it's all a matter of how you perceive yourself. And I'm really excited about him bringing his story, his wisdom, his knowledge. And this isn't about sales or anything like that. This is something I really wanted to do. And it all goes back to what, Mark's message is about: being a leader, being a friend, being a service. And this gentleman truly emulates those three qualities. And I didn't even give my shout outs. I was so excited here, but I may do that later on. And we have John McMillan. Thanks, Mark. Glad to have met and worked with you in the past. Okay, very cool. And I appreciate that, John. Thank you for climbing on board and keeping me straight here. No, it's good to have you. And anybody else out there, you want to share this, hop on board, make a comment or two, I appreciate it, John. And, I will give my shout outs. And with that, I'm going to say the Grow Live Nation, the Virtualistic Wonders, those that follow under the tutelage of Ken Walls, the maestro of live streaming. And then you have the emerging sales winners, diehards. With that, there is Megamind Plus, and yes, John, I do remember. Thank you. Yes, I do. Yeah, I absolutely do. And by the way, John, hope we get another opportunity. Look who climbed on board to say hello, the man himself. And sometime in the near future, this gentleman too will be on Mark's message. And I can't wait to share Doug's story with you, because Doug is a very unique individual. It has to do with some type of ladder, but what I think is really cool about Doug is the fact that now he's doing something totally different. And that is totally awesome. He doesn't have to do that. But when you're goal oriented and driven, that's what you do. Doug, thank you for climbing on board. So remember, everybody, I'll put it up here again. It's going to happen Wednesday, and it'll be at 8 p.m. And the man with the plan is going to be Brian Wagner. And he's going to share with us, just in case you popped on here, about our blind spots and how we need to improve and work on that. And Brian's going to share some real live knowledge about what he's experienced in the realm of blind spots. And he's very qualified to talk about it. Like I said, since 2011, things kind of changed for Brian. And I will allow him to tell his story and later on delve into any questions you may have, talk about his program. Check him out tomorrow, Radical Vision. It's every weekday. You catch him on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. So let's climb on board and, see what Brian has to say in his message. Every day he's doing it. He's making it happen. So he always has a guest and he always has some insightful things to say to us. And with that, I am going to back it on down here. And remember, everybody, this is just a quick announcement. Tomorrow, I'll probably do the same thing to get everybody attuned as to what's going to take place on Wednesday, the 18th. And that will be, Brian Wagner Day, so to speak. We'll be bringing him on board. And Brian, you'll appreciate it. Peachtree Corners, Georgia, the peachiest place on the planet. Everybody teases me about it, but like I said, why is it named Peachtree Corners? It's named that for a reason, right? So everybody, I'm backing it on down. Be a leader, be a friend. Most important of all, be of service. Once again, this was Mark Gassard, Mark's Message. peachiest place on the planet, Peachtree Corners. I will see you tomorrow, probably in the AM and later in the afternoon. And once again, to promote Mr. Brian Wagner, the man with a plan. He'll be here. Remember, it's Wednesday, the 18th. Looking forward to having you here. So, and we have another voice out in the past. Where's Ronnie from? Swanee? Hey, John, we'll have to get into that, my man. That's a good one. Okay. Anyway, everybody, enjoy your evening, and I'll catch you tomorrow.